So we have writer, director, editor, Connor White, and he is representing his films, City Music and Red Planet Blues. Welcome to KaPow Intergalactic Film Festival, Connor.
Thank you very much, Matt. It's great to talk to you.
It's good to talk to you. Your films are very different in their approach. Their genres are different and the styles are different. What was the process, or like how did you go about with that?
Sure. City Music and Red Planet Blues both started as school projects and then kind of branched out into larger personal projects that I finished up on my own. City Music was mostly inspired just by my experiences in an urban setting. I didn't really grow up in a place like Philly, and then when I came here for school, it was just a very different environment, and I wanted to express that in a way that was celebratory and vibrant and very musical, just because that's how I find my experience here. That was the biggest film project I've ever worked on and like spearheaded myself. So with Red Planet, I definitely wanted to scale back a little bit and just kind of make something more lighthearted. It kind of took the goofy inspiration from some dreams that I've had and just played around with a short story. And I've never done sci-fi before, so I also wanted to give that a shot.
So what cameras did you use to shoot both of these films?
Sure. So my lovely cinematographer, Greg Taylor, shot both of these with a little help from Matthew Connolly, who did some Steadicam work on City Music. I believe pretty much all of City Music was on one of the Sony Alphas. Red Planet was all on Blackmagic 4K. And we took advantage of a lot of the gear and resources that are available at Temple. So I have them to thank for that.
And what did you edit on?
I'm definitely a fan of the Adobe software. So all of the Premiere Suite, After Effects, was a lot of very heavy After Effects on Red Planet especially.
Let's talk about the post-production process for Red Planet Blues.
Sure.
I really like
I'd
the
love to.
red and yellow gradient technique that you utilize there. And from what you were telling me previously is that you were shooting that outside of school. And honestly, I felt like you did a really convincing job of kind of simulating Mars or wherever you were trying to portray.
Well, thank you very much. All of the Mars exteriors are on my campus here, and we don't really have a whole lot of grass, so we had to take advantage of what we could find. So that kind of required a lot of manual rotoing and masking to first remove those and then put back in the landscape and the atmosphere particles floating around, the color grade, making it very orange. That was something like I was very excited to do. The image I used in the background is actually a real picture of Mars in NASA's like public domain. And I found it convenient because it had two mountains that are named the Twin Peaks. And I thought that went well with the kind of clone scene that you see later on. So it's a bit of foreshadowing there.
So what was it like to act with yourself? Because I hear that you're a very difficult person to work with.
So I had my roommate work with me as a stand-in and kind of be like the shoulder in the edge of the shots where you're supposed to be like seeing over my shoulder into the other version. And then basically just him reading the script to me and then me acting it on the film, and then, in editing, just putting it all together.
So you were saying that Red Planet Blues was based off of a dream?
Yeah, I have a lot of very complex and specific dreams. So I took inspiration from a few that I've written down just over the past few years, and all of the best elements from that, put it into the script, as well as some dream events like we were talking about earlier with the being afraid that you failed your test or something like that. Just things that I hope that a lot of people can relate to in their common dream stressors, as it were.
Yeah, the school thing still plagues me. I mean, it's been a while since I've been in school, and you know, I wake up in a panic, like, oh my God, where are my books? Do I have the syllabus? I don't know what's happening. Yeah, I
It's
had
tricky.
that nightmare. You know. So here's your official selection page. Like this graphic, I thought you did a really, really good job. Did you design these, or did you have someone work on these for you?
Thank you. Yeah, I designed these. The logo itself was probably the first thing I did on the entire project. The cityscape you see in the background is from the opening shot of the film, and then with those like colorful shapes kind of overlaid on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, what I found interesting about City Music was it reminded me of like a slice of life Americana from like PBS. And like your graphics and everything have a very 70s vibes, particularly your poster, you know, with the vinyl record. And I don't know, just reminds me of folk music or something. And yeah, the graphics on this were really good. And I really enjoyed your poster right here.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's talk about the music because the note that I have written down here is the orchestra of life, and
Sure.
I don't know. I felt like the musicians that you work with did a really good job portraying character, portraying mood and tension, and I don't know. That was one of the things that I really enjoyed about that particular piece. You want to talk about the music process and the musicians that you worked with to get the theme that you were going for.
Absolutely. Yeah, I cannot shout out all of the musicians that composed the original score for this enough, just because I think they did such a great job. I don't know the first thing about music or composing music, but I just happened to pull together a pretty good team of people that also go to school with me. Um, and I have to also give a special shout out to Nicholas Organ, who kind of translated my directory thoughts that didn't have musical terminology in them into like kind of directing the rest of the band in what they should actually be performing and playing. I think they all did a really great job. It started with just me meeting with them and saying, "Hey, I want a movie that we make the music for first instead of the other way around." And they had no idea what I was talking about. And then I gave them existing movie scenes to score and practice with. And then from there, we went and got like a bass improvisational track that we used during the filming. And then after it was filmed, we brought them back in and had them perform the final music for the film. And I think it just all came out great. We were very fortunate.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very fun piece, and I enjoyed. It was like being in their lives together, and you know, and like I was telling you earlier, the end scene kind of made me a little melancholy to see like you know a party with the blue solo cups and you know people hanging out playing video games, and there was a couple making out. It's just like
Yeah, definitely.
I was longing for the days of yore.
Yeah,
Considering
it's
how we're stuck in lockdown and our festival has to be, you know, virtual this year. And I don't know. It
yeah,
was nice to see. It was kind of
it's
like you got to live in their life for a little bit. Well, Connor, thank you. I appreciate you taking time. And thank you for submitting to KaPow and being part of the festival. We
yeah.
appreciate it. And we really enjoy your work.
Well, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.